Moving away from cricket, the police has commenced investigations into the attack on a journalist attached to the Velampuri newspaper in Jaffna. Police media spokesperson Superintendent of Police Buddhika Sirivardhana said that the suspects connected to the incidents have not been identified. Yu Salin, a correspondent for the Velampuri newspaper, was attacked by a group of unidentified persons close to the Apane Nilavadi Kovil. He is currently receiving treatment at the Jaffna Teaching Hospital. Speaking of News First, Yu Salin said that a group of 6 individuals attacked him. He added that one of them had mentioned to him that he was a member of the police intelligence unit. The police media spokesperson notes that a complaint had been lodged with the police into an attack carried out by an unidentified gang and that investigations will take place to identify them. United National Party parliamentarian Sajid Premadasa has emphasized on the need of the amendment that enables the 25% female representation for provincial council polls to be implemented. The parliamentarian made this comment at an event in Galle yesterday to celebrate International Women's Day. Force the government parliamentarians and ministers to implement the amendments that will automatically enable a 25% female representation at provincial council polls. If the female power is to be highlighted, the female representation should be made strong. Just because there is a 5.7% female representation in Parliament, women's rights will not become stronger. Parliamentarian Sajid Premadasa also made a monetary donation to the Housewives Fund at the event held at the Galle Town Hall. Speaking at an event in Colombo yesterday, UNP parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake emphasized on the importance of creating a Sri Lankan identity. The annual celebration event of the Sri Muttumariamman Kovil down Nagalam Street in Colombo 14 was held yesterday under the auspices of parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake. What is important to our country is to create a Sri Lankan identity. We believe that it is through this that we can bring long-lasting peace. So it is our responsibility to create the foundation in this Buddhist country where the Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims, Burghers and Malays can live together. Even if we are in the opposition or not, we must create an environment where everyone can live with a Sri Lankan identity with the future vision of this country. Parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake made a monetary donation to the Sri Muttumariamman Kovil as well. Parliamentarian Palitharange Bandar says that a majority of the UNP fighters with voter bases have left the party as a result of the activities of the current leadership. He points out that without the fighters who can win the people's hearts, the party cannot be steered to victory.
The responsibility of the United National Party is to be with the people. One phase of it is to recruit new members. The fighters who have fought against Ranil have left the party. These politicians should have something called a human sensor to understand the people and the people's feelings. We think that is called a human sensor. Ranil Wickremesinghe has no human sensor. His circuit box does not work. Because of these, he cannot understand the needs of the people. Because he cannot understand, he is doing foolish things. This is what has happened. Let's
now take a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day. You are watching News First Weekend Primetime News. Time now for Action TV. The third generation of individuals who are settled in the Mahaweli Sea system face a high percentage of unemployment. Most of them make a living by engaging in the sand mining trade in the Mahaweli River. In line with the recommendations of the Mahayangane Divisional Secretariat, the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau issued 73 permits to mine for sand in the Mahaweli Sea system. One can engage in sand mining on the right bank of the Mahaweli River with these permits. The Matale Vilgamu Divisional Secretariat issues permits for area residents to mine for sand on the left bank of the Mahaweli River. 2 years ago, the district secretaries of Kandy, Matale and Badulla reached a consensus not to increase the number of sand mining permits issued to area residents. The district secretaries of Badulla and Kandy continue to follow this accord, which was aimed at conserving and utilizing natural resources in a sustainable manner. The Vilgamu Divisional Secretariat, which acted against this decision, reached by the Matle District Secretary, gave away recommendations to issue permits for sand mining at an alarming rate. The extent of this is clear, as the sand miners who have been given permits to mine for sand in Vilgamur are invading the right bank of the Mahaveli River, which comes under the purview of the Mahiyangane Divisional Secretariat. The sand miners of the right bank have tolerated this and even shared the resources which they were officially entitled to. However, even in such a backdrop, the sand miners of the left bank continue to cause trouble to those working on the right bank. 3 months ago, at the Vilgamur Divisional Development Coordination meeting, it was decided not to allow permit holders from Mahiyangane to transport sand to Colombo over the Girandrukote Nippon Bridge. As a result of this, permit holders from Mahiyangane were forced to use the Randinigala road. However, due to the extra time and expenses incurred by the Mahiyangane sand miners, they have effectively refrained from plying their trade. Incidentally, the sand miners of Vilgamur have benefited through this move as well. The bridge built by the Japanese signifies the friendship between Japan and Sri Lanka. However, officials and politicians of Mathale, who believe this bridge to be their own personal property, have restricted the sand miners of Vilgamur from transporting their sand over this bridge. Doesn't the attitude of these officials cause harm to the cooperation between the residents who live on the two banks of the Mahaveli River? Inspector General of Police, this is over to you. Now, U-Reporter is a novel concept introduced by News First. The first group of News First U-Reporters from across the island arrived in Colombo today to participate in a workshop organized by News First.
Many individuals have already joined News First in Citizen Journalism Initiative and have already registered as News First U-Reporters. A group of News First U-Reporters were invited to Colombo today to attend a workshop organized by News First at the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited Auditorium. Incidentally, this is the first workshop of a series of workshops organized by News First to hone the skills of News First U-Reporters. The News First team provided insight on citizen journalism and new media trends. Here, special attention was focused on how News First U-Reporters can submit their stories to News First in 4 simple steps. The 3-hour workshop ended with a tour inside our studios and newsroom where U-Reporters got an opportunity to experience live newscasts. Sirasa, which always introduced new concepts, did it once again. The U-Report concept was initiated by Sri Lanka's #1 news provider. News First has launched many novel concepts. Now there is a platform for everyone to submit their stories to News First. U-Report benefits the people. Through this citizen journalism initiative, the problems of villagers, which are not even heard of, are brought to the attention of everyone. We commend the U-Report initiative.
In the News First
Sirasa has yet again brought a concept to ensure that the people receive information first and fast. Through this initiative, information comes to light first and fast.
An individual who rode a motorbike on an unsafe bridge in the LPTA area in Dadigama Kegal died after falling off the bridge.
This unsafe bridge is located on the Galapitamada Nelumdeniya road. The police say that the deceased may have slipped off the bridge and fallen into the canal below last night or early this morning. The victim had been identified as 56-year-old L.H. Gamini from Kivudeniya, a retired employee of the Sri Lanka Transport Board.
What we ask for is that a fence be erected for this bridge to avoid the loss of life.
Locals say that a large number of vehicles travel along this unsafe bridge daily.
Several buses too had fallen into the canal below. Because of that, there will be a loss of life.
Locals from Galapitamada charge that though they had informed the relevant authorities in this regard, they are yet to receive a solution regarding this bridge.
On the business news tonight, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka believes that the bank interest rates would be reduced in the future. However, the Central Bank points out that although it has been 2 months since it eased its monetary policy, commercial banks in the country have not brought down their savings and loan interests in a considerable manner.
In December last year, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka decided to bring down its policy interest rates that affect the interest rates of commercial banks in Sri Lanka. After 2 months, the Central Bank decided not to change its policy interest rates. It was decided at the Monetary Board meeting of the Central Bank on the 7th of this month to maintain the policy interest rates without changing it.
On to sports news, Royal College Colombo defeated St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia by 7 wickets to win the 134th Battle of the Blues played at the SEC grounds today.
St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia batting first posted 192 for their first innings, to which Royal College Colombo replied with 260 for the loss of 5 wickets declared. Batting in their second innings, the Thomians lost their first 2 wickets for just 22 runs. The highest scorer for St. Thomas's College in the first innings was Sanesh Dimel with 49 runs. Chamika Karnaratna bagged 4 wickets for 32 runs. St. Thomas's College could only post 132 runs in their second innings, giving Royal College Colombo just 65 runs to win the match. Royal College Colombo won the game in 10.3 overs, losing 3 wickets. Royal College Colombo last won the Battle of the Blues back in 2006.
St. Joseph's College Colombo made a surprise comeback to defeat St. Peter's College Colombo in their annual limited overs encounter played at the R. Premadasa Stadium.
Batting first, St. Joseph's College were bundled out for 194 runs. Sachin Hebawasam scored 36. Pathum Madhushanka and Shammi Sinivaratna put up a partnership of 72 runs for the 9th wicket. Shammi Sinivaratna scored 42 runs while Pathum Madhushanka scored 36. Sahan Nanekkar of St. Peter's College bagged 3 wickets for 29 runs. However, an impressive bowling performance from the Josephians restricted the Peterites for 166 to win the game.
Now, the Joe Pate match was, of course, telecast live on MTV Sports. On to another cricket match. Bangladesh posted 135 runs for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of day 2 of the first test against Sri Lanka. Overnight batsman Angelo Matthews and Lahiru Thirumana commenced play by arriving at the crease on day 2 of the first test played in Galle. Angelo Matthews was the first to be dismissed today for 28 runs.
Abul Hassan strikes.
It's much greater.
Lahiru Thirumana and newly appointed vice-captain Dinesh Chandimal put on a brilliant partnership of 203 runs for the 5th wicket. Thirumana scored an unbeaten 155 runs, which consisted of 14 boundaries, and this is incidentally his maiden test century. Dinesh Chandimal hammered 12 boundaries and 2 sixers on his way to an unbeaten maiden test century of 116.
Steers this one down towards third man. They've run 1, coming back for 2.
Shoaib Ghazi was the pick of the bowlers for Bangladesh as he claimed 3 wickets for 164 runs. Sri Lanka declared their first innings of 570 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. Bangladesh trails by 435 runs with 8 wickets remaining in the first innings.
I bowled him. He's got a wicket in his first over in his comeback test match. That was, I thought, the attempted googly. It's nicely played, beautifully played, in fact. So if you wouldn't.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of Weekend Primetime News. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara. Good night.